Hey, hey.
How's it going?
We have a candle.
Yes, Anna has a candle, not me.
Okay, I'm just gonna start. This is the best news for this week. So this is Matthew chapter 7, verses 24 through 27. It's Jesus. This is Jesus. He said, "Therefore, everyone who hears these words of mine and puts them into practice is like a wise man who built his house on the rock. The rain came down, the streams rose, and the winds blew and beat against that house, very violent. Yet it did not fall, because it had its foundation on the rock. But everyone who hears these words of mine and does not put them into practice is like a foolish man who built his house on sand. The rain came down, the streams rose, and the winds blew and beat against that house, and it fell with a great crash." So here Jesus is talking about how we can build our lives on sand, on things that will erode and fade away, or we can build our house on something solid that will not fall. Spoiler alert, Jesus is the solid one. In case you didn't get that. So Jesus is saying, I want you to build your life on me, for your hope to be in me and not in your circumstances. In fact, bad and hard things are going to happen. You are going to have wind come up against you. There are going to be things that try to knock you down, whether that's something really small, like a friend who ignores you, or something really big, like all your plans for the future collapse in front of you and don't work anymore. This life is going to be filled with things that do not go our way. And Jesus says your hope is not in your life going your way. Your hope is in me. And that I will go with you wherever you go, and that I am the God who is steady and sure, that my promises will never fail you. And so that is the best news for us today.
That's so good, Hannah. I think that for me, and you mentioned it, when I think of foundation, often I can think of what is my hope in? And it's so easy for me to put my hope in other things. I know that in college, it was performance, perfection, to do things perfectly. It still is. I still struggle with it today. Even like doing ministry, leading things like team, I want to do it perfectly. I want to present things perfectly. And I've noticed that it's so much, a lot of it's about myself, and how others see me. I can put my hope in other people's worth of me and how they see me. And it's just something that I've seen just fail me. It doesn't satisfy, and it's actually something that as I try to be in control of my performance and what I'm able to do, I actually feel more out of control. That's the sad thing, and the hope, the beauty of the gospel, why it's such good news, is I can always turn to Jesus to be my rock. Even as I struggle and wrestle with this, I continue to struggle, I turn to other things, I hope in other things, I can always turn back to Jesus to be my rock. And what's awesome is what God has done in my life is as I have turned more and more to Him to be my rock, to be whom I put my hope in, instead of other things in this world, and trusting Him to be in control, trusting Him that my full worth is in Him instead of other people, I've actually found more stability, right? Jesus provides stability because He's our rock, and peace and joy. Where even though I struggle with these things still, I can find a lot of peace in the midst of it. I can always turn back to God. He's definitely helping me to more and more just turn to Him and find hope in Him, and that has given me just great stability and peace in my life. So God's done a ton. He's brought me a lot of stability. He is good. The gospel is such good news. It's the best news ever. And I hope you can rest in that this week.
Also, doesn't it look like a creepy bug? It's not, but every time I look at it, it looks like a creepy bug. Okay, bye, Palmertown.
Have a good week.